Welcome to ESPN College Football presented by 5-Hour Energy. Syracuse and West Virginia just underway, and we've already had a huge turn of events in the opening moments. DeLon Carter with a run for Syracuse down to about the 19-yard line, but West Virginia starts off with the football, and Geno Smith just a moment ago threw only his third interception this season.
And right off the bat, the zone pressure defense by Syracuse that's been so successful for them early in this season pays dividends. For them to compete in this football game, they had to play good defense and turn the football over, give their offense great field position.
Doug Hogue, the senior linebacker, picked off Smith. Into the red zone comes Carter, turns the corner, and he's out of bounds with a first down to the 14-yard line of West Virginia. And Ryan Nassib, the junior, who was behind Greg Paulus last year, but had a lot of different packages dialed up for him by the coaching staff. And Brian, he's a quarterback that probably as a first-year starter was about as prepared as you could be.
Well, and he certainly has the brains for it. He's a 3.7 grade point average. He's got all the tools. He just needs the experience right here. He needs to play smart. They've got 3 points on the board. He just needs to be efficient.
Carter tries to bounce it outside, and the speed of that Mountaineer defense tracks him down. Eventually, it was Robert Sands that made the stop, but there was nowhere for DeLon Carter to go.
This defense for West Virginia has been outstanding. They're first in the Big East in total defense, fifth in the country. They have been swarming to the football, got a lot of speed, a lot of experience in the secondary. Robert Sands, a junior, 6'5", 220 pounds, playing the free safety position, but you'll see him up around the line of scrimmage a lot today.
To throw for the first time. Under pressure. High throw to the perimeter. And it's incomplete. Way up over the head of Alec Lemon, the intended receiver. Julian Miller was bringing pressure, and now it's 3rd and 12. And Brian Greasy, this is a West Virginia defense that is pretty stiff in this end of the field.
Julian Miller just runs right over Shabane, the left guard. I don't think that Shabane was ready for that power move, but that's actually Scooter Berry, number 93, coming through the red shirt junior. He's a powerful man. They have to account for him.
3rd and 12. Play clock down to 6. Might be a free play for Syracuse. Antoine Bailey with the carry, but it looked like J.T. Thomas, who on the stop on the far side, got to the ball carrier after the Mountaineers jumped in the neutral zone.
Defense. Number 24. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Mistakes in the red zone can really hurt you. Good stop by the Mountaineers defense, but right at the top of your screen, Austin or at the bottom of your screen, sorry, it jumps off, and a big mistake there, but now it brings up another 3rd and 7. Again, difficult to convert in this area of the field.
Syracuse can pick up a first down inside the 4-yard line. Bailey the lone setback. Nassib on the slant, dropped. Oh, it would have been a first down. Van Chu had it in his hands and couldn't hold on.
Ball's incomplete.
Good read by Nassib, just a slant route on the weak side, and the ball is right where it needs to be. And Van Chu, I think, heard footsteps there. You're going to get hit anyway, whether you catch the ball or not, and the coach says you might as well catch it, get us a first down. But a good, accurate throw by Nassib would have been a conversion.
So instead, a 28-yard field goal attempt for the freshman, Ross Krautman. Tough snap to handle, but Rob Long, the punter, did a good job to get it down. So Syracuse scores 3 to start off the game. They take the turnover and turn it into points. And for Doug Marone's team, exactly the start he needed. You're already plus in the plus minus. And Brian Griese, he wants to turn this into an NFL football game. Shorten it if you can, limit the possessions. Bottom line is, if this is a game that's in the low 20s, Syracuse is in great shape. If it gets up into the 30s, they know they can't win a shootout.
Well, they got the turnover that they needed early. Their defense has been playing well all year. They love to run the football with Carter. I think this is the recipe that they need to get to the fourth quarter, hopefully still be in this football game, and have a chance to win at the end.
And it's such varying styles, isn't it? It's kind of an NFL-looking pro-style offense, I formation, with a couple of wide receivers for Syracuse. On the flip side, much more of what is now the trend in college football for West Virginia. Geno Smith with a myriad of options to go to.
Yeah, it's really, you don't see the pro-style offense in college anymore. I think I can count on one hand a number of schools that I've seen this year that would run a pro-style offense. Most of them are the spread teams, allowing the athletes at quarterback to make a difference in the ball game. So Syracuse is nowadays a throwback with running the West Coast offense, and Doug Marrone coming from the Saints.
Syracuse with the lead off the turnover. A short kick fielded on the dead run by Jock Sanders. Somehow he stays on his feet. They'll actually rule that his knee touchdown. Inside the 30-yard line, brought down by Bryce Hawks. The officials ruled that he was down.
Yeah, Jock Sanders is such a great athlete that you never know if he's down on the ground. I mean, he could be vertical to the field, but looked like his elbow may have touched the ground right there. I think that's a good call by the official, but certainly it was not by much. And you never know with Jock Sanders, Devine, and Austin. They're going to be all over the field, going back and forth, making plays, athletic plays like this.
Pressure Smith, deep ball over the middle, high and incomplete. He had Jock Sanders right up the logo as we take a look at our impact players.
Yeah, and you're going to see Noel Devine. He's very well known, was in the Heisman race at the beginning of the season, but he has been very good for these Mountaineers for a long time. Jock Sanders was the intended receiver there. You'll see him down the field. You'll see him catch bubble screens. Not getting a whole lot of yardage after the catch, but he is a guy that can get loose at any point in time.
Fake and a rollout for Smith. Has to throw it away. Well, not only Jock Sanders, also Noel Devine, but Tavon Austin is another dangerous weapon for the Mountaineers.
Yeah, you'll see Tavon Austin catch balls. You'll see him in the backfield. He's a converted running back, playing wide receiver a lot this year because they can't help but get him on the field. And talking with Jeff Mullen, the offensive coordinator for West Virginia, he says those three impact guys, I don't have enough balls to get around to those guys. They need to catch 20 balls a game if I had that many plays.
Down and 10, delayed blitz from Syracuse. Smith steps up in the pocket, low throw. Austin right at the first down marker, and they will give him the catch at the 40-yard line. A gain of 11 and a big third down conversion.
Good job stepping up in the pocket by Geno Smith. Throws a little bit low. Nice job of Austin going down and getting that football.
Tavon Austin leads West Virginia in catches and yards. Averages about 69 yards per game receiving. And he's the motion man here. Has play blown dead before it begins.
57, false start, false start.
False start. Offense. Number 57. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Correction. First down.
So Bill Stewart in his third year, 24-9 as the head coach of the Mountaineers, but watching his offense sputter a bit here to start the game. They need a third down and 10 conversion to keep their second possession going after Geno Smith threw an interception on their first possession. And now it's 1st and 15. Four-man rush. Smith underneath has a man. About a yard shy of the first down is J.D. Woods.
And good patience from Geno Smith there. It's a very similar zone blitz to the interception, and he's going to see that kind of defense throughout the rest of the game. If Syracuse knows that defense is going to confuse Geno Smith, they're going to keep bringing it, but a nice job of him reading the defense there.
Second and a long 2 as they mark Woods down at the 47-yard line. Smith underneath has another man. This time it's Brad Starks, and Starks inside the Syracuse 40. Brought down by Chandler Jones. Gain of 15.
Another nice chip play by Geno Smith. Wanted to throw the ball left. Nobody was there. Keep it alive. Find the open receiver on the weak side of the formation. Getting that football to Brad Starks, who's got a lot of speed and explosion. He's got a ton of athletes on this offense and places to go with the football.
Devine to the 34-yard line. A gain of 4 on first down. Darrell Smith made the stop for a Syracuse defense, Brian, that can be pretty tough for a quarterback to decipher.
Well, it certainly is, and you've seen it early in this game. They're going to bring all kind of pressure and play zone defenses behind it. Try to make Geno Smith read the defense, hopefully make a mistake. He made one already, but on this drive, he's been perfect.
This time Smith under center. Clark now in the game is the lone setback. Play action, though, for Smith. Buys time, floats it left for Sanders. He's got it inside the 10. First and goal, West Virginia. Chuck Sanders out of bounds at the 6.
Jock Sanders just has too much speed coming across the field and play action. Sooner the defensive back 24 tries to stay with him, but there's no match for the speed of Sanders. And just like that, the West Virginia offense goes right down the field. They've been very good in the first half this year, outscoring their opponents 93-34, so they know how to start fast.
Devine. Run out at the 6. No gain. Doug Hogue, who had the pick to start the game off for Syracuse, made the stop. Perfect positioning by Doug Hogue.
No gain.
You know, West Virginia this year, 16 times they've scored touchdowns on 28 attempts in the red zone, and they've got the perfect complement of talent to be successful in the red zone, because you can give the ball to Devine, you can throw the swing to Sanders, you can run the quarterback draw with Smith. A lot of different options.
Smith well protected. Wide open in the back of the end zone is Tavon Austin for the touchdown. Interception to start it. Geno Smith was just about perfect on that last drive as Tavon Austin gets touchdown catch number 3, and West Virginia's got the lead.
This is not your Pat White Mountaineers run the football. They are going to throw it, and they do it very well.
Welcome to college football on ESPN, presented by 5-Hour Energy.
Geno Smith threw only his 3rd interception of the season on the opening possession for West Virginia, but he comes back 5 of 7 for 66 yards on that scoring drive for the Mountaineers, and West Virginia takes the 7-3 lead.
And we talked about 9 plays. 7 of those plays were passes. You know, West Virginia has been known throughout the last decade for running the football with Noel Devine and their bevy of quarterbacks that they've had, and Pat White and Jared Brown, but this is a different style of offense with Geno Smith.
The freshman, Prince Tyson Gully from the 9. Has a lane all the way out to about the 38-yard line as we take a look at today's expert breakdown brought to you by Farmers Insurance.
Let's go back and look at the touchdown. You're going to see Tavon Austin come down and run a little double move. Here he is right here. Watch the linebacker. Smith is right there. He's going to bite on the route. And then it's an easy throw over the top. for Geno Smith. A good touch ball and a nice job of Tavon Austin going up and getting it. But in the red zone, you've got to be precise with your routes, and Tavon Austin certainly was right there.
Tavon Austin only a sophomore, so when Jock Sanders and Noel Devine leave, it's nice to know you still got one of those Smurfs that'll be here to catch the football. Carter, gain of maybe a yard or two out to the 40-yard line. Chris Neal made the stop, and Doug Marrone in his second season at Syracuse, but maybe most notably the first Syracuse alum to be named head coach since 1947. He is so invested in this program, and Brian's so proud of the fact that he is a member of the Orange family.
Has great opportunity, and he imparts to these kids how important it is for them not only to be good football players, but good people off the field.
Carter tries to turn the corner, about 4 yards shy of a first down. Let's check in with Wendy Nix.
Bob, thank you very much. At the Taco Bell studio update, Ohio State has not lost consecutive games since 2004. The Buckeyes trying to bounce back against Purdue. Dan Herron, his 7th straight game with a rushing touchdown, 14-0 Ohio State with the lead.
All right, Wendy, 7-3 here, number 20 West Virginia on top of Syracuse, and the Q's faced with 3rd down and 5. They'll try and play power football for it, and they'll get it. Carter right up the middle, drags the tackler to the 46-yard line.
3rd down and 5, and Syracuse offensively decides to run the off-tackle play. When you have DeLone Carter, 5'9", 225 pounds coming through there, he is a load. You better be ready for him, but if you can convert on 3rd and 5 with that kind of play, that is a great sign for this Syracuse team to come in here and be physical right from the start.
Play action this time for Nassib. On the run, whips it to the sideline and has a first down. Van Chu with his first catch. Out of bounds at the West Virginia 29.
Nassib has plenty of athletic ability. He can get out on the edge, and when you can run the football with Carter, then the play action comes right after. Good job going through his progression. That was the 3rd read in his progression. He wanted to throw the down flat to Provo number 80. Wasn't there, and he waited for Van Chu, who ran a nice patient route on the outside.
Play action again. Van Chu gets loose. Touchdown. And Syracuse answers right back.
To Van Chu for the Syracuse touchdown.
When you run the football with guys like DeLone Carter, then play action has that much more sting. And the safeties for West Virginia get worried about Carter coming through the line of scrimmage, and then play action over the top right there was done perfectly.
Well, Doug Marrone spent not only 4 years as the offensive line coach with the Jets, but also
under further review.
He spent 3 years as offensive coordinator with the New Orleans Saints. That looked like a Saints kind of play action fake, run the posts to Van Chu, although they are going to review the last play, I guess, to make sure whether or not Van Chu had full possession of the football.
Looked like he double clutched it for a little bit. No, he had it the whole time. He's got to maintain all the way down to the ground. Yeah, he's got the football there. That's a touchdown, and a great play call by Nate Hackett, the young offensive coordinator. That drive right there was critical. You get an interception, get field position, you get stopped and held to a field goal, then you give up an impressive drive, this Mountaineer team. It was important for this offense to come back and answer, and they did so in impressive fashion.
After further review, the receiver maintained possession of the catch. Touchdown.
So Van Chu with his 4th touchdown reception of the season. He's the favorite target for Ryan Nassib. Leads the team in catches, yards, and now touchdowns. And how about the answer by Syracuse? Under 2 minutes, 5 plays right down the field to take the lead back. And it's 10-7 Orange.
Van Chu's a mighty 170 pounds, but if you're 170 pounds, you better be fast, and he certainly is that. And this is a great start for Ryan Nassib.
Spartans this season, 7-0 Northwestern.
All right, Wendy, a good one there and a good start here. On the move, wide open in the middle of the field. Geno Smith bought himself some time, and he found Jock Sanders. Sanders still spins inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. Mike Holmes finally found a way to get Jock Sanders on the ground after a gain of 20.
Jock Sanders, Noel Devine, not only are they fast, but they're strong. They're workout warriors in the weight room. Sanders does a nice job finding the open hole in the defense, and he is difficult to bring down. Low center of gravity and just hard by those two guys. That's what's made them special here at West Virginia.
Five-man rush. They set up the screen left to Devine. Gets to the 15. Inside the 5-yard line before he's brought down. 9 more yards for Noel Devine. Chandler Jones, the younger brother of Arthur Jones, great player at Syracuse, made the stop.
It's good to see Devine out there making plays again. You know, he got hurt in the LSU game, had a bruise on his big toe, and for a running back, that is very difficult. But you see his numbers have been down a little bit, but now he just passed Stevie Slayton for 4th all-time on the West Virginia rushing list, almost 4,000 yards. That is impressive.
And 5th all-time in Big East history. 2nd down and 1.5 yards from inside the 5. Play action. Smith under pressure, and he gets sacked. Oh, is that the play that Syracuse defense needed? All the way back outside the 15 to about the 17-yard line, and it's Chandler Jones, his 3rd sack of the year.
Great job by the linebackers here. Smith is going to get a jam on the receiver, not allow him. Both Hogue, number 32, and Smith, 25, are able to jam the receivers and not let them get out in the route. That forces Geno Smith to hold the football, and that was a coverage sack more than anything.
So now it's 3rd and 15 from the 18. Only a 3-man rush this time. Smith, all kinds of time, finds a soft spot in the zone. Right at the goal line is J.D. Woods, and they'll mark him down at the 1. Still good for a 1st down, though. 1st and goal at the 1.
All kinds of time in the pocket for Geno Smith, and able to find Woods wide open in the middle of the field. And great effort by Smith trying to get across the goal line. Looked like his knee was down at the 1-inch line.
And they have the football marked at the 1. The ball certainly seems like it's well inside the 1-yard line when his knee went down.
Under review.
He may take another look at that. He may cross the plane. It looked like his knee was still up when that ball crossed the plane of the goal line. They may give him a touchdown on this one.
Well, he was ruled down on the field, but if nothing else, they might move the ball, as you said, Brian, to the 1-inch line rather than the 1-yard line. Because it certainly looks as if when his knee touches, at the very least, the ball's well inside the 1. You're right, that might be a touchdown.
That ball is over, and his knee is not down yet. I think that's going to be a touchdown. His elbow may have been down, but the ball was across the line of scrimmage. Now it's got to be indisputable video evidence to change the call on the field, obviously, but certainly it looked to us like that was a touchdown. Great effort by Woods, getting through 3 defenders there and getting a nose for the chalk.
Now the problem is that his left knee is kind of hidden behind his right knee. So as he's going down and both knees are about to hit the turf, it's hard to see whether or not his left knee might have been down. And as you said, because they made the ruling on the field as down at the 1-yard line, it has to be indisputable video evidence to change that call. Worst case scenario, it's 1st and goal at the 1-yard line.
On a big conversion, you know, Syracuse did a great job on the 2nd down play to force the sack, but then to give up a 3rd and 16, I mean, that is unforgivable as a defense in the red zone.
And to drop 8 in coverage and still have that be the result.
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. The ball be placed at the 6-inch line. 1st down.
Well, there is your indisputable video evidence coming into play. When they say the ruling on the field stands as called, that's basically code for we couldn't quite see indisputably whether or not he got in. Although they did move the ball a little bit closer to the goal line.
Yep.
Ryan Clark into the end end zone after all for a West Virginia touchdown. We've had 3 touchdowns and points scored on every possession so far. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. West Virginia's got the lead back.
The Rose, Fiesta, Orange, Sugar, and the Tostitos BCS National Championship game. ESPN, the BCS lives here.
Bob Shoes and Brian Greasy back in Morgantown. College football on ESPN presented by 5 Hour Energy. Very efficient for Geno Smith again. He's 8 for 8 after missing his first 3. And another 7-play, nearly 70-yard touchdown drive for West Virginia.
And the impressive thing on that last drive, 3rd down and 16, he wasn't scared of the blitz. He was ready for a 3-man rush and found the open receiver for a big conversion.
Short kick fielded at the 8-yard line by Max Suter. And Suter lost the football. At about the 30-yard line, it bounces out to the 33. Syracuse thinks they got it back. Now West Virginia saying first down Mountaineers. And West Virginia's got it. What a disaster for Syracuse. Mike Dorsey comes away with the fumble recovery.
Looked like the kick was a little bit short, and Suter trying to make a play, get some extra yardage, and that's Stedman Bailey, the wide receiver, playing on special teams, does a nice job getting a hat on the football, and a costly turnover for the Orangemen.
The prior play is under further review.
Give credit to Bailey. He's their starting wide receiver. Just a true or a redshirt freshman playing in only his 5th start this season, and a big play for his team.
Well, they're going to go up to the replay booth just to make sure that Suter wasn't down by contact, but David Stevens, a backup tight end for Syracuse, was out there trying to block for Max Suter, and Suter tripped over his own guy and kind of hurtled into the air, and Bailey seemed to clearly knock the ball out before Suter was down.
Kickoff returns, anytime you go airborne on a kickoff return trying to get extra yardage, you don't know where all the defenders are coming from. It's not like an offensive play. It's a very violent play, and there's defenders coming from all different directions, and I don't think that Suter knew that Bailey was coming after him, and right there you're in a very vulnerable position, and Bailey does a nice job of just putting a hat on the football, and clearly that ball was out before Suter ever hit the ground.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
We were just saying while we were away during the break that in spite of the fact that Syracuse is only down 4 for Doug Marrone, this is not the kind of game that his team wanted to be in. This is shaping up to be a shootout, and that is hugely in favor of West Virginia, and now they start in plus territory after the turnover. Incompletion and a drop. That's the first miss for Geno Smith in his last 9 attempts. It went right through the hands of J.D. Woods.
Thomas defending on the play.
And you're right, Bob, since it started 0-3, 8 of 9 for 117 yards and a touchdown, and he is a very efficient player. His coach feels like his weapon is not his feet or his arm necessarily, but his brain. He knows what to do with the football in certain situations.
Devine right up the middle, spinning free at the 20-yard line. Down to the 16 goes Noel Devine. Josh Jenkins with a great trap block inside, freeing up Devine for 18 yards.
You get Noel Devine coming and giving him a hole like that. Very difficult for Thomas, the safety #1, to make that stop. And then if he gets any space in the secondary, that's where he is deadly. And right there, a great example of the run versus pass mixture helping West Virginia move the ball.
Damone Merkerson, cornerback for Syracuse, injured on the play. .52 yards on the last 3 carries for Noel Devine. And for the 3rd week in a row, the #1 team facing a critical road challenge. DeMarco Murray and Oklahoma try to stay atop the BCS standings when they take on #11 Missouri. Brett Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit will have the call tonight from Columbia. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines on ABC tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. Oklahoma #1 in the first BCS poll. Brian Griese, they for real?
They certainly look like it. Landry Jones, I don't know how he's not in the Heisman discussion. He's having a great year.
Devine bounces left and gets bounced down with a flag down on the near side. Mikhail Marinovich made the stop, but a flag thrown right along the line of scrimmage.
Personal foul. Hands in the face. Defense. Number 54. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic. First down.
That's Marinovich called for the personal foul. The younger half-brother of Todd Marinovich. And he said he came all the way out to Syracuse just to kind of get away from the negative stereotypes surrounding his last name out in Los Angeles. There's the right hand of number 54.
Yeah.
Right up into the face mask of the right tackle, Jeff Braun.
Took his helmet off.
Smith on a rollout. End zone. Intercepted. Picked off by Philip Thomas. And Thomas gets loose all the way out to the 25-yard line. What a dodged bullet for Syracuse. They turn it over on the kickoff return, and then Thomas comes back and takes it right back for the Orange.
What a great play by Philip Thomas. Sitting back in zone coverage. Here he is right here. Take a look. It's just a simple naked route. You're going to have a down flat. You're going to have a guy in the back of the end zone. And Geno Smith tries to force it into the over route. And Thomas does a great job of reading the eyes of the quarterback. A huge play to change momentum for this Syracuse team.
Geno Smith had 2 interceptions this season coming into today. He's got 2 picks thrown here in the first quarter. DeLone Carter for a yard.
Syracuse needs to get Carter going. I mean, he is their bell cow. He's the guy that can carry this team on his back. A year ago, had over 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns, and he's had some ups and downs, off the field issues, but he is a guy that has committed himself over the summer after being suspended for an altercation on campus, but has come back and recommitted himself and really playing well early in the season.
The game clock goes all the way down to all zeros as Nassib will let the first quarter expire. What a back and forth first quarter we had. Doug Marone's team right in it on the road here in Morgantown.
On the reverse.
Marked out of bounds at the West Virginia 12.
And Carter and Bailey are a great 1-2 punch. Doug Marone was telling us this week they're very different backs. Bailey's more patience, got a little bit more speed, can line up anywhere in the formation, and a nice job of mixing the misdirection and reverse with the power game of DeLone Carter.
Carter again. Breaks another tackle in the backfield and picks up about 3 yards. Scooter Berry was the first man there for West Virginia and couldn't bring down DeLone Carter.
Tackled by J.T. Thomas.
You know, as I watched DeLone Carter run a little bit, I don't think this West Virginia defense has faced a back that's this physical. Reminds me a lot of Trent Richardson from Alabama with his size and speed and power. This West Virginia defense was a little bit concerned about the physical nature of Syracuse. So looks like that's what they want to do early in this game.
With Carter on the sideline, it's Antoine Bailey. Lowers his shoulder and gets inside the 5, down to about the 4. A gain of 5 yards. Chris kneeled. Senior nose guard brought him down. So now big play here. 3rd down and about 3.5 from just inside the 5. They can pick up a first down inside the 1-yard line.
Well, it looks like Carter may have got dinged a little bit. He went to the sideline a little bit gingerly. Bailey has stayed in the football game. They've already converted a 3rd and 5 with a stretch running game. I wouldn't expect anything different right here.
Bailey dodges a man and gets close to the first down. They certainly stopped him short of the goal line, but he didn't need to get to the goal line in order to move the chains. Scooter Berry tripped him up, and now we'll have to see where they place the football.
Great job of Bailey keeping his feet. Scooter Berry, as you said, split the double team and was able to get some penetration, but Bailey, with great lateral movement, got back in the line of scrimmage, but looks like he came up a little bit short.
And now the field goal unit comes out. What do you think about this call? It's 4th down from just inside the 3, but they only need to get about halfway between the 1 and the 2 to pick up a first down. So it's 4th down about 1.5 yards.
Honestly, I think if DeLone Carter was in the football game, I'd go for it, but I think he's a little bit dinged up on the sideline.
And now a flag down. Delay of game.
Delay game. Offense. Number 37. 5-yard penalty.
So now the field goal becomes a no-brainer as you mark it back at about the 7-yard line, which might even improve the angle a bit for Ross Krautman. And because of that, West Virginia, Brian, declines the penalty to try and keep Krautman on a bit more of a difficult angle inside the 5.
Yeah, you see Carter right there. It looks a little bit ginger. I honestly think that if Carter was healthy and in a football game, Doug Marrone would go for that on 4th and 1.
19-yard attempt for Ross Krautman, the freshman. Again, a low snap, but again, Rob Long is able to get it down, and Krautman able to put it through, and we've got a 1-point game here in Morgantown. The Syracuse Orange keeping it close with West Virginia. Well, good news for Syracuse fans. College football presented by 5-Hour Energy. Your workhorse, DeLone Carter, trying to walk it off during that last time out. And here's a look back at the last run he made before he went to the bench with whatever the injury was.
Yeah, it would look like they were looking at his hip on the sideline, and looked like he got a little bit twisted there, but good sign for the Syracuse Orangeman. He's up on the sideline running around on the bike, and that last drive by Syracuse, 7 plays, all 7 of them runs for 71 yards. Just couldn't punch it in at the end.
I'm Bob Wischusen with Brian Greasy here in Morgantown, West Virginia. The first round of BCS rankings came out last weekend, and the Mountaineers, number 20, looking for another Big East championship. Noel Devine on the return, breaks a tackle, and is brought down at the 26-yard line as we take a look at our story track.
Tackle by Jeremy Wilkes.
West Virginia, Geno Smith with 2 interceptions, which Brian doubles his total for the season. As many picks in the first quarter as he had coming into today.
Yeah, he's been up and down. He's been absolutely perfect outside of those 2 interceptions. He's been patient, throwing the football accurately, and Van Chu's made a couple of big plays for the Syracuse Orangemen, but the 2 biggest plays for them are on defense, where they get 2 interceptions, one by Hogue, the linebacker, and Philip Thomas, number 1, the safety.
Not able to turn either of those picks, though, into touchdowns, both into field goals, and it's a 1-point game. Trap handoff to Devine. A gain of a couple of yards. Tripped up by Darrell Smith.
Syracuse defense is stout up front. I think they're 3 good linebackers.
Quick pitch to Devine. And Syracuse does a great job to stretch him to the perimeter, and he lost a couple of yards.
Great play by the linebacker Sproul, a true freshman, number 11. Eludes 1 block and gets out on the edge. He's one of the guys to watch today on the perimeter, making tackles. When you're young, you go up against the speed of West Virginia's offense. A lot of times you get out of position, but right there, he knew what he was doing, came up and made a sure tackle.
6 defensive backs on the field for Syracuse on 3rd down and 9. Smith whips it to the sideline. Incomplete. Diving attempt was made by Stedman Bailey, but he couldn't haul it in. And how about Syracuse? They get the turnover. They make it a one-point game. And now Geno Smith and West Virginia goes 3 downs and out.
Yeah, and I think Geno Smith led him a little bit too far outside. He was open on the sideline on the comeback route, and that was just a little bit of an inaccurate throw. First one of the day to Geno Smith.
And the first punt of the day for either team. Greg Pugnetti, averaging just under 42 yards a kick, will let it go. Tries to angle it to the right sideline. Fair catch called for at the Syracuse 29 and made by Mike Holmes. And this afternoon, catch a crucial game in the Big Ten. Wisconsin takes on Iowa. Also, Nebraska and Oklahoma State, or Georgia Tech battling Clemson. College football presented by Kay Jewelers on ABC or ESPN this afternoon at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. You can go to ESPN.com and search maps to find out where you can see your game.
Can Iowa and that defensive front stop John Clay and that big offensive line? That'll be a game I'm watching.
Antoine Bailey on the handoff for about 3 yards. And another scoring update with Wendy Nix.
Bob, thank you. Arkansas and Ole Miss. Ryan Mallett left last week's game with a concussion. He did not throw a touchdown. The same cannot be said today. A 23-yard connection to Greg Childs, and it's 14-0 Arkansas with the lead. Texas behind, trailing Iowa State 7-3.
Well, Wendy, we've got a one-point game here in West Virginia. Syracuse down by a point. Antoine Bailey again gets to the perimeter. A flag down. He's got a first down, but a couple of flags thrown in the offensive backfield. It'll be holding against Syracuse.
Offense. Number 75. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
When you have a back as athletic as Bailey, he's going to bounce it sometimes, and that puts your offensive lineman in a difficult position. Shabane's the left guard here. You'll see he's got a good position, but when he bounces outside, you got to let that guy go. And good effort by Miller. But sometimes when you bounce that football as an offense, you put an offensive lineman in a difficult position. That's what happened right there.
Nassib on 2nd and 17. Looks to the sideline, being pursued, and does a nice job to throw it away before taking the sack. Najee Good brought the pressure.
It's 3rd down.
This offense is predicated on 1st and 2nd down efficiency, not getting in 3rd and long situations. And right here, 3rd and 15, very difficult for this Syracuse offense to convert. And for Nassib, you got to be smart in this situation. You played well on offense to the early part in the game. Don't want to turn the football over here.
Bailey on 3rd and 17 as Syracuse plays for the punt. And Doug Marrone is livid out on the field looking for a face mask call.
Tackle by Bowser. 4th down.
He reacted immediately. I have to be honest, I didn't see a face mask pulled down there in the pit, but Doug Marrone leapt onto the field about 5 yards out off the sideline, and he was furious that a flag wasn't thrown.
Rob Long on the punt.
He is passionate, if nothing else. I mean, he must have seen something.
Rob Long is on the Ray Guy watch list. He is a terrific punter and gets away a good kick. That's an NFL kick, forcing a fair catch all the way back at the 17-yard line by Jock Sanders. That's a great job by Rob Long to change field position. A 50-yard punt and no return. Here in Virginia.
ESPN's College Football, brought to you by the new 2011 Lexus IS, Real Precision, and Subway Restaurants. Try the newest $5 footlong Subway Club today.
West West Virginia's got its own people mover. My kids signed up right now to go to West Virginia. As they saw that, they think you're going to get to go on rides if they came here to go to college.
Well, I think the Metro at Disney World was fashioned after that Metro rail right there. I don't know why I know that, but
that's a sad bit of information for you to have. I agree. Geno Smith on first down, under some pressure, dumps it left, flag down. Jock Sanders made the catch. A gain of 2 if the play stands.
Illinois dialing up the pressure again.
Offense. Number 74. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So it's holding against West Virginia. And now a moment ago, we went to break and we showed you Doug Marrone was absolutely livid, thinking that a face masking call was missed by the officials. Now look at the left hand of Branton Bowser, backup defensive back for West Virginia. He got it up on the face mask of Antoine Bailey. It's kind of lost in all that traffic. We were able to find it, and that was what Doug Marrone was furious about. And he was right.
Looked like it would have been maybe a 15-yard variety. He held on to it for a while.
Another flag down and a drop as well by Brad Starks.
This pass intended for Starks. He is incomplete. Flag on the play.
Legal motion. Offense. Number 10. Penalties decline. Second down.
This is in danger of getting sloppy if you're West Virginia on offense and not making Bill Stewart happy. But as a quarterback, you've got to make sure that everybody on the offensive team is set before you give the leg to snap the football.
Well, West Virginia declines, or rather Syracuse declines. So on 2nd and 19, it's a handoff. And being dropped in the backfield is Noel Devine. He might have lost another yard or 2. Again, it's the true freshman, Marquise Sproul, that came through to make the stop. Sproul's a great story. He's from Hillside, New Jersey. His high school football team was 0-10 his senior year. They were so bad that he wouldn't tell his mom when or where the games were. He said, Mom, really, you don't have to come. No, Marquise, you're my son. I'd like to come see you play. No, really, Mom, it's all right.
That's terrible. That is terrible.
Well, he made a play there, 3rd down and 20. And now Bill Stewart's going to play field position football, as he'll turn things over to his punter. Ryan Clark goes up the middle, and Syracuse, with the help of a couple of West Virginia penalties, should get great field position after the punt.
Well, 2 3-and-outs back-to-back for the Syracuse defense. A nice job coming up. Shamarko Thomas, the safety, 21, and then Smith, the linebacker, finishes him off. And Clark is no small individual. He goes 250 pounds, so for a safety to come up and make that hit, give Shamarko Thomas credit.
Pugnetti from the end zone. Up the sideline. This will go out of bounds in plus territory. Syracuse will start in West Virginia's half of the field. As we take a look now at the Saturday menu, brought to you by Applebee's. Some great college football. Later on this afternoon at 3:30, part of our regional coverage. Wisconsin and Iowa, 2 top 15 teams of the BCS in the Big Ten. Alabama on the road. Another brutal game for Tennessee. That's life in the SEC. And Brian, the big one tonight, Kirk Herbstreit, Brent Musburger will have it on ABC at 8. Oklahoma in Columbia to take on the Tigers.
Yeah, Columbia, a very difficult place to play.
Northwestern over Michigan State.
Wow, a potential upset brewing in the Big Ten. And Wendy, a potential upset brewing here in the Big East. 1-point game, but Syracuse driving. Handoff again to Bailey, and he hurdles for a first down to the 20-yard line of West Virginia. A gain of 3 more for Antoine Bailey. We have not seen DeLon Carter since he went out the last time that Syracuse got down in the red zone. And Brian, we saw him over on the sideline. It looked like he had shaken off whatever the injury was, but he's been on the sideline ever since.
Well, he had such a traumatic injury to that hip, and I don't know a whole lot about it. He's still on the bike over there, but if he strained that hip again, that is not a good sign for the Syracuse team. But Bailey is more than capable of picking up the load at the tailback position.
Fumbled snap, and Nassib covers up.
Covers the fumble.
You forget this is only the 7th career start for Ryan Nassib, and First thing you got to do is secure the football. I know you want to get out and throw the ball on the edge. They had a rollout called there in the center. Bartholomew is a senior, was trying to reach block, and when you have a reach block at the center position, the quarterback has got to ride him, stay with him, and secure the football.
Back to Bailey. Nice cutback up the middle. Well, on 2nd down and 12, if you set up 3rd down and 5, you did your job. And that's what Syracuse will now be faced with 4.5 minutes to go before halftime.
And here's where you need your quarterback to make plays. You get into a situation like this in the red zone. You've already been stopped for 2 field goals, haven't been able to convert touchdowns. Your quarterback has to make plays in these kinds of situations to convert 3 points to 7.
Dan Chu with the touchdown catch. The favorite target for Nassib is at the bottom of your screen. Nassib rolls that way. Under pressure and throws it over the head of Van Chu. Pressure was coming from Pat Lazier, so it'll be a field goal attempt after all for Syracuse.
Yeah, Pat Lazier, number 31, the linebacker. He's right here. He's going to scrape on the edge. They tell linebackers, when you read rollout, you run to where the quarterback will be, not where he is. And did a nice job of getting out there and pressuring that throw. Nobody open downfield. All Nassib could do was throw it out of bounds and kick a field goal.
3rd trip into the red zone for Syracuse, and this is their 3rd field goal attempt. 33-yarder for Ross Krautman. And Syracuse has the lead with under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Well, Doug Marone's team took a punch. A couple of touchdowns in the first quarter for West Virginia, but they took that blow and they're back on top.
Just over 5 minutes to play in the first half.
Wendy, 3.5 minutes to go in the first half here in Morgantown. 2nd and 5 for West Virginia. Geno Smith floats one over the middle. This time it's caught by Tavon Austin, but he's immediately brought down. No gain. Doug Hogue there to make the stop.
Tavon Austin. Tackled by Jones. No gain.
Been really impressed with Doug Hogue, the linebacker in this Syracuse defense. The last 10 plays, -2 yards and an interception. They are getting the job done against a very explosive offense. And if they can stop them here before halftime, go in with the lead, I think Doug Marone and this team will have a lot of confidence coming back out after halftime.
They trap a handoff, and getting loose is Devine. Breaks a tackle. And a first down inside the Syracuse 40.
Well, you live by the blitz and you die by the blitz, and they decide to come off the edge. You're going to get Devine right up the gut. Very well blocked. And when he gets in the second level, very difficult to tackle. Mike Holmes, the safety, misses a tackle, and a big gain for West Virginia.
Again, it's Devine. Not as much there this time. Again, it's Doug Hogue making the stop. A gain of only 2. Noel Devine and Geno Smith both not themselves. Brian, they both have foot injuries to deal with, although Devine seems much more explosive than we saw on tape the last couple of weeks.
Well, 80% of Noel Devine is pretty explosive.
Smith to the sideline, underneath, and he finds J.D. Woods. Flag down, though, at the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the play.
Thrown right at the snap.
Another illegal shift. You see this with no huddle teams. The quarterback's got to let him get set.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I know you want to go fast. I know you're going to have tempo, but these kind of penalties will hurt you. And if you don't allow your receivers to run all the way outside, you got to let them get set before you snap the football.
So that backs up West Virginia into 2nd down and 13. 3-man rush. They set up the screen to Devine. And Devine's got nowhere to go. Comes to the near sideline and finally goes down back at the 48-yard line. They tried to run a screen into only a 3-man rush. Syracuse had dropped 8, and there was not nearly the room for Noel Devine on that screen, a loss of 6.
Well, Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator, guesses right. He's brought a lot of pressure. He mixes it up with a 3-man rush here. Perfect call on defense. defense and great pursuit. Look at all the orange hats. And a great job by Philip Thomas, the safety, coming up and making a sure tackle.
3rd down and a mile. Again, only a 3-man rush. Smith deep over the middle, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Doug Hogue. His 2nd pick. And he's still on his feet inside the 40. Hogue down to the 20. All the way down to about the 12-yard line before he's brought down.
Doug Hogue was a 4th-string tailback a couple of years ago, and they moved him to linebacker, so he knows how to catch the ball, and he knows what to do when he gets it. But ill-advised throw. You run it from here. Ill-advised throw from Geno Smith, trying to get the ball down the field on 3rd and a mile. And I don't know if he got hit there, but that ball came out low and way off target. And Hogue with the shallow cut on the outside, the former tailback, makes a huge play for his team.
Mikhail Marinovich may have gotten a piece of his arm. Play action for Nassib. Looks back at the end zone. High and incomplete. He had Alec Lemon, but overthrew him. How about, though, for Geno Smith? He came into today for a 5-1 team ranked in the top 20, having only thrown 2 interceptions in the first 6 games of the year for West Virginia. He's now thrown 3 in the first half against Syracuse.
Well, and 2 of them, I think, were bad decisions. One of them, he got fooled. But to throw in the end zone and that last throw, you just got to make sure that you secure the football, not give the Syracuse any momentum.
And off to Bailey. Finds a crease, and he's down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.5 from the 5.
Syracuse call a timeout. They'll have 1 timeout left in 45 seconds. Plenty of time for them to run the football, do whatever they want to do.
Scoring update from our studio. Let's go back to Wendy next.
Bob, thank you. Coming up on our Sprint halftime report, Michigan State is in trouble on the road at Northwestern. Ryan Mallett returns after suffering a concussion last week, and we'll tell you what to watch for in our Saturday setup. I'm joined by Robert Smith and Todd McShay. We'll see you in just a few minutes.
Well, Wendy, it's hard to imagine that we'll have something more surprising in college football than what we've got in our 2 noon games right now. You've got Michigan State, a top 10 team, on the road against Northwestern. They're on the ropes, and the road team here, Syracuse, Brian Griese, in great shape. They should have the lead at halftime, certainly.
I think not having DeLone Carter hurts them right here in this situation, because Bailey, they like to get him out in space and throw him the football, but because Carter's hurt, he's got to line up at tailback.
Nassib, play action, underneath, incomplete. Adam Harris, the fullback, had it knocked away by Sidney Glover. So now it's 4th down, and that's the 4th trip into the red zone for Syracuse, and the 4th time they're going to have to settle for a field goal here in the first half.
And that's very disappointing if you're Syracuse on offense. You get a great turnover right before the half. That was a very conservative play call, a flow pass trying to throw the ball in the flat. But as you said, if you get down there 4 times and you have to kick 4 field goals, very disappointing on offense.
Krautman from 22 yards out. And he's good again. Stretches the Syracuse lead. It's a 5-point advantage for the Orange. And the story here in the first half, turnovers. Geno Smith with 3 interceptions in the first 30 minutes.
I think we're going to find something out about Geno Smith, how he rebounds. He's had some mistakes in this ball game and allowed the Syracuse team to hang around and have the lead at halftime. I'll be interested to see how he comes back. He'll probably get an earful of Bill Stewart at halftime. But he's got to take this team on his shoulders. They don't have the kind of running game to support him. He's the one that has to make plays for this offense. And you see, he was very good early in this season, only throwing 2 interceptions in 177 attempts. And you're going to have some of these days. You're going to have days where things don't go right. I remember I threw 3 interceptions in the first half against Iowa my senior year. Went in, caught my breath at halftime, and came out, and we ended up winning that football game. So there's plenty of time left as a quarterback, and Geno Smith's got to have amnesia right now. He says, all right, let's go. Let's get things back going. I'm not going to lose my confidence. I'm still going to make plays and get this team back where it needs to be.
The pooch kick again will come down to Ryan Clark at the 25-yard line. And he's caught from behind at about the 29. With the season on the line, the Cowboys are fighting to climb back into contention. Tony Romo and Dallas take on Eli Manning and the Red Hot Giants. Giants-Cowboys, ESPN's Monday Night Football at 8:30 Eastern. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with Monday Night Countdown, served by Applebee's. Now, the Cowboys have to win that game, or their season is about as dead could be. And you're right, Geno Smith, Bill Parcells, to draw on a Giant parallel and a Cowboy parallel to a certain extent as well, always said you find out about a quarterback after he gets punched in the mouth.
That's right.
Well, he has been proverbially punched in the mouth here in the first half. Draw play to Devine, out to the 32-yard line. And it looks like Bill Stewart wants his team to regroup at halftime.
And we talk about this every week. Sometimes, you know, the confidence that you instill in your quarterback has a lot to do with how they play. And this is not a sign of confidence in Geno Smith, not allowing him to throw the football before halftime.
Lobs it down the sideline. Tavon Austin had a step. But with pressure coming, Smith floated it out of bounds.
Very interesting to run the ball on first down and then to throw the fake screen fade up the sideline. And Geno Smith had Austin wide open, just threw the ball out of bounds. He's struggling right now, and he needs to get in at halftime and take a deep breath and come out, play better in the second half.
It's a 5-point lead at halftime. All presented by 5 Hour Energy here on ESPN. 3 first-half interceptions thrown by Geno Smith. And, Brian, we spent time with the offensive coordinator for West Virginia, Jeff Mullen. He told us this is a tough defense to decipher. Zone blitz, some NFL-type disguises in their coverage behind it. We go to the grease board to take a look at how they were able to engineer one of those interceptions.
Well, Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator for Syracuse, comes up with a good plan. Brings pressure off of the edge right here. Now, the difference is he doesn't play man coverage behind it. He plays zone. And Doug Hogue, the middle linebacker, plays his zone and then breaks on the football and beats the wide receiver to the point. That's where he makes the play, and Geno Smith never saw him. So the zone aspect of this pressure defense is what is confusing Geno Smith right now.
And Geno Smith throws 3 interceptions in the first half. He had only, so far this season, thrown 2 interceptions through the first 6 games. How unusual is it to see a defense in college football have man-free, 2 deep looks, 3 deep looks behind a zone blitz?
Well, it's very difficult because you have to teach the secondary their responsibilities, and based on releases of receivers and halfbacks, everything changes. It's very easy to play man coverage, much more difficult to play zone behind it, but effective.
The ball drops off the tee. Remember, Syracuse won the toss, deferred their option to the second half. And not only does Syracuse have the 19-14 lead, but they have a chance to start the second half now with the football. We also saw DeLon Carter come back out to the Syracuse sideline, but he didn't look good. He was walking tenderly at best, still trying a slow jog, and then went over, took off his helmet, sat down on the sideline. So we'll see if we see the Syracuse workhorse at any point here in the second half as the touchback to start the second half. Let's take a look at the Dave & Buster's playbook at that Hogue interception you just diagrammed.
Yeah, we'll show it to you. You're going to see off the edge 3 guys coming, putting pressure on the quarterback. The under route is going to come, and Hogue, 32, the linebacker, right in the middle of your screen, right there, breaks on the football and beats the wide receiver, and Geno Smith never sees him. And this is the style of defense, very aggressive, that Scott Schaefer wants to play, forcing 2 other turnovers early in this football game, and that is the reason why they're up by 5.
And it's still Antoine Bailey at tailback to start the second half. And he goes nowhere. J.T. Thomas there to bring him down. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
And Bailey has not been their workhorse. It's been a lot of Carter most of the season, and Bailey's been a change-up guy that they like to line up in a lot of different aspects. But he has got to shoulder the load now. It looks like Carter is injured to the point where he cannot return in this football game.
He's still trying to jog it off if he can. But it's the junior Antoine Bailey at tailback. 2nd and 10. Bailey lost a yard. Terrence Garvin got the tackle that time for West Virginia.
Now Jeff Castile, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia, decides to bring his own form of pressure, bringing Garvin off the edge. And I guarantee you in that locker room at halftime, it was all about, we need to make more plays on defense, force the hand of the Illinois offense, maybe force some turnovers of our own.
Ryan Nassib, the junior quarterback for the Orange, only 2 of 8 so far in the game. Play clock down to 5. The toss sweep, Bailey with a cutback, breaks a tackle right at the first down marker, and it looks like they'll mark him a half-yard shy. Sidney Glover brought him down just shy of the 30-yard line.
Great job by the fullback, Adam Harris, 49 on the edge. He's checking off. He sees a blitz. He wants to toss the edge and crack. It's a great play against the blitz, but just comes up a little short. 67. Hugh gets a block on the edge, and great effort by Bailey on the second level. And Sidney Glover, the safety, number 4, holds on for dear life.
Rob Long's last punt was a 50-yarder that forced a fair catch. And this another NFL-looking kick. Hogan from the 14-yard line. Tries to get to the edge. Steps out of bounds inside the 25. So another good kick by Rob Long. 57 yards and only a 10-yard return. Again, a great change of field position for Syracuse. And now we see, Brian, what happened at halftime with Geno Smith, how he reacts to start off the second half here, and whether or not Jeff Mullen, Bill Stewart, the coaching staff being in his ear had the intended effect.
Yeah, well, and first things first, they got the 3 and out on defense, and now Geno, as you see, not very good his last 10 attempts. He had a chance to settle down. I think if you're the offensive coordinator, Jeff Mullen, you want to throw the football here, get him back into a rhythm. Treat this just like the start of the football game.
A 2 tight end look here for West Virginia at their own 23. And they'll give to Devine. Good run by Noel Devine. 7 yards out to the 30.
Noel Devine looks like he's back from that toe injury. I don't see any hesitation on his part to make cuts on the second level. The speed is there. The last 2 weeks, last 3 weeks, he's only had 150 yards total running the football, and today been much more effective.
Out of the eye, Devine with a cutback. And he might have the first down. Chandler Jones, first there for Syracuse.
Interesting turn of events here now. The West Virginia offense comes out in an I set with 2 backs. Ryan Clark at fullback. Traditional I. You don't see that very often from a spread team like West Virginia, but now they're got a first down. They're back to their 4 wide receiver sets.
Devine is swamped under right at the line. Anthony Perkins helped bring him down. No gain on first down. It's 19-14 Syracuse as we take a look at our story track. Bob Wischusen and Brian Greasy on homecoming here in Morgantown. It was a quiet first half, though, for the 60,000 as Geno Smith threw 3 interceptions of the first half, allowing Syracuse to take the halftime lead. Blitz comes off the edge. Devine gets a sideline bullet to J.D. Woods. Out to the 40-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3 as we take a look at Syracuse's story track. Now, 3 interceptions, 2 by Doug Hogue, but Brian, 4 red zone possessions and 4 field goals for the Cuse.
Yeah, if you want to win on the road against a good football team, you've got to convert in the red zone, and Syracuse has not been able to do it. Nassib had a couple of opportunities, decided to play the safe route and throw the ball out of the back of the end zone. But now they've lost their starting tailback in Carter, so they've got their work cut out for them in the second half.
4-man rush on 3rd and 3. Smith all kinds of time, buying himself some more. Underneath, almost threw a 4th interception. Doug Hogue was providing pressure, and Geno Smith rushed the throw. And it'll be a punt for West Virginia.
Again, West Virginia decides to run their man-beating route. You're going to see a lot of crossers in the middle of the field. Austin, they're trying to beat man-to-man coverage, but Syracuse plays zone. Good job by Scott Schaefer mixing it up. Nowhere for him to go. And right here, you got to be careful. He threw that ball in the middle of 3 Syracuse defenders, and a nice job by Doug Hogue again. Number 32, the linebacker, forcing the issue, Geno Smith.
Good kick by Pugnetti. Holmes from the 6-yard line. Gets a block. All the way out to about the 21-yard line. Well, normally inside the 6 or 7-yard line, you let that thing bounce. As it turns out, Holmes made up for it with a good return. Syracuse has the ball back in a 5-point lead. DeLone Carter still trying to trot off a hip injury from the first half, although we were just handed a note from the press box upstairs. He has a bruised right hip, and the word from the Syracuse folks is that he will not return. That was the play in the first half where he made a run down to about the 5-yard line, seemed to twist his hip and go out. And I don't know, Brian, I mean, it certainly seems as if he's trying to do what he can to stay fresh on the sideline, but the word from the press box is that he's not going to return to this game. And getting shut down in the backfield is Antoine Bailey by Chris Neal.
Well, whether you're Antoine Bailey or DeLone Carter, you wouldn't make any yards on that play, but certainly having Carter out of the ball game changes a little bit this offense. They don't have that 1-2 punch at the tailback position. It puts a lot of pressure on Antoine Bailey, a smaller back, only 190 pounds, 5'8". He's got to shoulder the load because they've got nobody behind him. True freshman Gully is the next guy in line behind Bailey.
Nassib on 2nd and 13. Under pressure, the blitz comes, and he'll go down. J.T. Thomas came untouched. It'll be 3rd down and about 15.
The other thing it does is having Carter out of the ball game as it puts more pressure on the quarterback. And Nassib hasn't done much through the air yet in this ball game. But if Syracuse is going to win this game, Ryan Nassib is going to have to make some plays through the air.
Play clock down to 3. Play clock at 1. They're not going to get it off. And they call timeout.
This crowd starting to get into the football game, and there's a lot of communication that Nassib wants to do at the line of scrimmage. And right there, costly timeout that they may need later in the game.
Football presented by 5-Hour Energy as Morgantown all of a sudden is alive. As quiet as they were when their offense was on the field, they are just that loud here at Mountaineer Field after the Syracuse timeout. 3rd down and 15 for the Cuse. Flags down. A lane though for Bailey. He slides down, though, out at the 28-yard line. The flag thrown right at the line of scrimmage.
Flag on the flag.
And this will be a penalty against Syracuse. Most likely, Bill Stewart will decline and take the football back. You'd have to think.
Legal procedure offense. 5 players in the backfield. Penalty decline. 4th down.
Got 5 guys in the backfield. Got to be on the line of scrimmage.
All in all, though, not too bad for Syracuse. And they picked up 12 yards on that play and bought themselves maybe some field position.
This is where your punter and Rob Long is becoming a weapon for Syracuse and changing field position. He's an unsung hero in this game.
Another good kick down the sideline. And the ball fumbled out of bounds. Brandon Hogan right up against the sideline inside the 25-yard line. That's a 47-yard punt and no return. And for the third week in a row, number 1 will face a critical road challenge. DeMarco Murray and Oklahoma try and stay atop the BCS standings when they take on 11th ranked Missouri. Brent Musburger and Kirk Herbstreit will have the call tonight from Columbia. Saturday Night Football presented by Southwest Airlines on ABC tonight at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, as we take a look at our Tostitos BCS standings. Oklahoma later on. Oregon not too bad on Thursday night against UCLA as they hang 60 on the Bruins. Geno Smith under some pressure has to throw it away. How good has this Syracuse defense been today?
I think they're playing great. I think they came in with a good plan. They're mixing up their pressures and their zone drops on first and second down. I think they've forced West Virginia into a style of offense that they're not comfortable with. They don't want to come out in 4 wides thinking that they're going to get their 30-down blitz package, so they're coming out in I formation. Here it is again.
Play action for Smith. Throws on the run underneath. He's got Ryan Clark, but Clark drops the ball. And now it's 3rd down and 10.
And I think Syracuse is content now to blitz on every single snap. You'll see it again here. They're going to come off the edge. They have an opportunity to get to and put some pressure on Geno Smith, but certainly they are dictating the tempo of this game to the West Virginia offense and not the other way around.
Mountaineers go empty on 3rd and 10. Syracuse brings 5, and 5 might do it. Smith can't escape the rush. Doug Hogue was the first there again to put pressure on Geno Smith. Anthony Perkins helped bring him down.
They bring Hogue and Smith, both inside linebackers, right up the middle. And I tell you, I am impressed with Doug Hogue. He has made plays all over the field today. And this swarming Syracuse defense has come out and made a statement in this second half that they're going to keep the momentum in this game.
Returnable punt for Mike Holmes. Gets outside. Great field position for Syracuse across their own 40-yard line. And what a difference this has been after a 14-yard return by Mike Holmes for West Virginia offensively. They start off with a couple of touchdowns in the first quarter, but look at their last 7.
Yeah, the last 7 obviously not getting it done. They scored 2 touchdowns early in the game, but they have not been able to get their rhythm on offense. We talked about them having 3 different tempos. They like to snap the ball quick. They like to be like Oregon's offense, but this has looked anything like that kind of offense against a defense I think they underestimated today.
Is there any chance that Syracuse will let Nassib go play action on first down? They do. And he comes underneath. Finds his tight end Provo. And that good for about 6 yards.
Well, you called it, man. You could be an offensive coordinator out there.
Well, as you said, there's no way they win this game unless they put the ball occasionally in the hands of Ryan Nassib. And it seems as if throughout the entire game, they've been content to get what they can on first down. But then you see West Virginia starting to sell out to stop the run. You can't operate in 2nd and 12 and 3rd and 13.
They're going to get 8, 9-man fronts. Here again, you see the depth of the safeties. Very tight to the line of scrimmage. They're susceptible to throwing the ball over the top.
Prince Tyson Gully to midfield, 2 yards shy of a first down. Najee Good brought him down as we take a look at the play selection breakdown for Syracuse. Obviously, it's been rush heavy.
Yeah, I think they want to have a 2-to-1 ratio with a young quarterback, and that's the way it's been all year. 26 rushes and 9 passes. That's a little bit heavy even for them. But Doug Marrone, an offensive line coach, he likes those big uglies that come off the football and establish a meanness and a tempo.
Without DeLon Carter, though, at tailback. Again, it's Bailey in the eye, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it. And Bailey, it looks like he's got it. Sidney Glover made the stop. It's a first down for Syracuse in plus territory.
We were talking with head coach Bill Stewart of the Mountaineers, and he was concerned if this got to a power game, he said they would have a tough time handling the size of the Syracuse offensive line. And I guarantee you right now, he's saying, I've got a power game on my hands.
Nassib to throw on first down again. Well protected down the sideline, has a man and can't float it into Nick Provo. As we check in with Wendy Nix.
Bob, thank you. Michigan State mounting the comeback at Northwestern. This game over on ESPN.
Here's an end around.
The 22-yard touchdown on the reverse. Benny Fowler on the carry. Michigan State now 17-14. Northwestern with the lead, actually.
Similar storyline here, Wendy. Northwestern trying to hang on against a highly ranked team in Michigan State. Syracuse on the road trying to hang on. Under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter at West Virginia. Nassib on 2nd and 10. A quick swing pass to Bailey. Breaks a tackle down the sideline. Right at the first down marker. They'll say he stepped out about a yard shy at the West Virginia 39, but 9 yards on 2nd down, 3rd down and 1.
And this is traditionally what they want to do with Antoine Bailey if he wasn't having to carry the load running the football, but he's caught 42 passes in his career at Syracuse, and this year he's averaging over 12 yards a reception, so he is a dangerous pass receiver out of the backfield, and they need to get him the football more on the perimeter.
Bailey right up the gut on 3rd and 1. Well, he did his best along Carter imitation there. Just lowered his shoulder. And it looks like he has another first down. And he does.
Well, credit Nathan Hackett, the offensive coordinator, co-offensive coordinator with Doug Marrone for this offense. First down, they take a shot down the field. Nassib misses a wide open receiver, but they come back with the swing pass on 2nd down, get into a manageable 3rd down. They get a conversion.
It's Gully, the freshman, going nowhere. Lost a yard and a half on first down. Again, selling out to stop the run, West Virginia. And Najee Good, who leads the team in tackles for loss, gets another one there. That puts them at 6.5 on the year. Loss of 2.
Yeah, now it's 9 guys in the box, and that's difficult for anybody to run against. At some point, Nassib has got to step up and make a play. Number 80, the tight end, Provo, is one of his main targets. 82, Van Chu. They haven't seen a whole lot of balls today, but they need to get more involved in this offense.
Nassib play action on 2nd and long. Under pressure, hit as he throws, and it falls incomplete. The pocket collapsed. Josh Taylor had him around the ankles. 3rd down and 12, and here comes the crowd again.
Great job up front. Nailed the nose guard. They come off the edge. Good block by Gully, but just second effort by Garvin. And off the edge. That's a dangerous place for a quarterback. Guys at your knees and up high. Big 3rd down here.
Four-man rush. Nassib under pressure, and he will be sacked. Anthony Leonard got him back at the 40-yard line. Syracuse picked up a couple of first downs and changed field position, but they'll have to punt it away.
Well, Bill Stewart said that this defense has kept them in ball games all year, and it's no different today. Anthony Leonard off the edge. Irvin, number 11, a pass rusher. They are playing very well on defense right now and keeping West Virginia in this football game.
So Ryan Nassib sacked for the 2nd time. And now Rob Long, a different kind of punt. As he'll try and kill it inside the 10. And he launches this a mile out of the back of the end zone. No chance for anything but a touchback. As Long missed that time, West Virginia has it back down 5 when we return.
ESPN's College Football, brought to you by Discover. It pays to to switch, it pays to discover. And Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, with 5 times the selection of ordinary jewelry stores.
Not bad quarterback genes in that family. Oliver Luck, West Virginia quarterback, 2-time academic All-American, and a Rhodes Scholar finalist, and his son Andrew. And he's obviously a little bit worried, the West Virginia athletic director, watching his team struggle mightily, especially after the first quarter against a Syracuse defense that does a great job mixing coverages behind the zone blitz. See what Geno Smith can put together here. Trap a handoff to Noel Devine. Devine gets loose. Brought down about a yard shy of a first down by Philip Thomas.
You know, we got to look at Oliver Luck, the athletic director. Last time he played the Syracuse Orangemen, his senior year, 1981, 34 of 38 for 360 yards. That's a pretty good day.
Devine on 2nd and 1, bounces it outside and has a first down. But Brian, what about now the offensive philosophy for West Virginia?
Well, I think they're taking the football a little bit out of Geno Smith's hands. You've seen I formation the first 2 series on offense. Now you're seeing a healthy dose of Noel Devine, which I think is a smart thing.
Quick hitch, though, to Brad Starks. And Starks has a first down. It didn't look like Syracuse was ready to roll their coverage over to Brad Starks. He was left alone.
Yeah, nobody was out there. I think the tempo of the West Virginia offense, that's what leads into some of these missed alignments, and they need to get back to this up-tempo game.
Smith tries to set the screen up, and it's incomplete. Marinovich ended up all over Geno Smith. Crowd looking for a flag, but it looked like a legal hit for Mikhail Marinovich.
Well, it was a missed assignment up front. Mikhail Marinovich comes scot-free, and it looked like a more violent hit, but that's a legal hit.
Second down and 10, 5 rush for Syracuse. Smith under pressure, high throw, incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Will Johnson, the intended receiver.
Well, you see the effects of getting hit, throwing interceptions, being a little off of your game today. All those things affecting Geno Smith right now. 2 back-to-back inaccurate throws, and you've got to fight through it. You've got to have amnesia. You got to continue to throw the football.
Down and 10. Bullet to the sideline, caught but short of the first down. Brad Starks made the reception at the 44-yard line of Syracuse. It's a yard shy of a first down. So decision time for Bill Stewart.
Well, and this is on the wide receiver. You got to make sure you get enough yards to get the first down. The quarterback can only throw it, but the wide receiver has got to make sure he goes 2 yards beyond the sticks so that when he comes back and catches that ball on the sideline, he's got a first down.
The crowd at Mountaineer Field not happy with the coach's decision. 4th and 1 at the plus 44-yard line, and they'll punt it.
Abnormal formation.
That might be delay of game.
Delay
It
game.
is.
Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Now, if you're Syracuse there, do you think about declining the penalty, or does the 5 yards take the fake more out of the playbook, and maybe you take the 5 yards?
I think you take the 5 yards just so that there's no option for them to go for the fake or to change their mind, bring the offense back out on the field and run the ISO.
And Syracuse only rushing 4 guys as Pugnetti gets it away. In traffic, a fair catch is made by Mike Holmes. Sitting in 1st and 2nd in the Chase standings, Jimmy Johnson and Denny Hamlin head to historic Martinsville Speedway, where they have combined to win the last 8 races. They look to continue their mastery of the place and their pursuit of a Sprint Cup title. The chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup continues tomorrow on ESPN at 1 Eastern.
I think if you're Bill Stewart, you got a lot of faith in your defense. The last 3 possessions have been punts, 2 3-and-outs, so they are starting to find their rhythm on defense, and you back them up here, and maybe you can change field position.
Hand off to Gully, and the freshman breaks tackles, and it looks like he's got a first down as we check in with Wendy Nix.
Bob, thank you. We go back to Evanston. Again, Northwestern hosting Michigan State. Dan Persa, we've called his name all day long. A 6-yard scramble here. 3 rushing touchdowns this game on ESPN. 24-14 at the end of the 3rd quarter. Texas has never lost to Iowa State, but they're in danger. They trail 14-6.
Wendy, West Virginia playing with fire at home today against Syracuse. The Orange with the 5-point lead, closing in on the end of the 3rd quarter. Nassib hit as he released it, and the ball comes out like a wounded duck and falls incomplete.
Well, we talk about Ryan Nassib having to throw the football, but he's got to have time to throw it too. Here he had a receiver downfield open, but didn't have an opportunity to set his feet and get the ball down the field. Chris Neal, the nose guard, a 5th-year senior, making his 33rd start, getting some pressure, and Anthony Leonard, the linebacker, as well.
Gully steps out of bounds at the 31-yard line. 4 yards shy of a first down, sets up a big 3rd down and 4.
I think we've seen a little bit in the change of philosophy for Syracuse on offense. Last 2 drives, they've thrown the ball on first down, come back and try to get some yards on 2nd down and get himself in a manageable situation. But on the day, they've only thrown the ball 3 times on first down.
That takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter. Can Syracuse hold on and win this game, maybe with only 19 points on the board? The final 15 minutes coming up. Aboushuz and Brian Greasy back at Mountaineer Field. 24 points scored in the 1st quarter, only 9 since. Syracuse with 3 red zone possessions in the 2nd quarter to settle for field goals, and they're trying to break a 12-game home win streak against West Virginia. West Virginia's won 12 in a row at Mountaineer Field and 8 in a row head-to-head against Syracuse as we start the 4th quarter. 3rd and 4. Wide receiver Hitch. Caught by Bailey. Walked down at least 2 yards shy of a first down by Anthony Leonard.
Great play in space by Anthony Leonard, not typically known as a fast linebacker. He's a big guy, 6'1", 250 pounds, and for him to go out there and tackle a running back, a very good play, brings it up short, forces a big 4th down.
These 2 teams have combined for 7 possessions now in the 2nd half, and this is the 7th punt. It is Syracuse's kind of game now, though. Defense and field position. See if Rob Long can change field position again. Another good kick by Long. And this will bounce. Wow. It falls right between the 2 return men for West Virginia. That's a terrible mistake by Sanders and Hogan to let it fall and roll inside the 10 down to the 6 for a 61-yard punt for Rob Long.
You know, I think the sun may have had something to do with that. It looked like they kind of lost that ball in the sun. They're looking directly back into it. Looked like Hogan was expecting Sanders to take it and vice versa. But clearly the miscommunication cost the Mountaineers right there.
It's a beautiful day unless you're a punt returner. 19-14 Syracuse with the lead, and they've got the Mountaineers backed up. Noel Devine brought down at the 5. Great tackle made by Shamarko Thomas, and a flag comes out.
Tackle by Thomas.
Will they call that a face mask? Either that or a horse collar, maybe.
Personal foul. Horse collar tackle. 21 on the defense.
I'll tell you what,
First down.
I I feel for Shamarko Thomas. Noel Devine is one of the most difficult backs in college football to bring down. And when you get anything of Noel Devine, you're happy. And right there, that's a tough job, man.
Is that a horse collar, or did he grab the jersey?
It looks like he had the jersey, but either way, that's tough duty. That is a tough call on Shamarko Thomas.
Big break for West Virginia. Pump fake by Smith, and he'll go down again. A flag comes out. Andrew Lewis brings him down. Did Andrew Lewis grab the face mask?
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 94.
Back-to-back personal fouls against Syracuse on what looked to be back-to-back great defensive plays.
Great plays, and you're going to get a gut check now for this Syracuse D. He's no doubt he gets the hand on the face mask, and that's 2 back-to-back plays. Bad luck, but you're going to test the stomach now of this Syracuse defense. And Doug Marrone says, guys, we're playing well. A couple of things didn't go our way, but we still got to come out and play good defense.
Devine looks for a cutback hole and finds one. He's now 2 yards shy of 4,000 for his career.
Second down, 2.
Devine again. Can't find any room. Might have picked up a half yard. It was the true freshman, Marquise Sproul, that brought him down.
Marquise Sproul had the patience, is not going to overcommit. He knows that Noel Devine can kill you with the cutback, so he had good patience, had his gap and his assignment, and when he saw the opening, he ran through it and made a nice play on Devine.
3rd down and 1, and the 247-pound fullback, Ryan Clark, now lines up in the eye. They'll give it to him. Boy, he just barely moved the pile to the sticks. It all depends on the spot, and it looks as if he's got the first down.
Yeah, he did not get it by much. I've been impressed with the front 4 and the linebackers for Syracuse on defense. They are not going to give anything away. Clark's a big man, 245 pounds, and he's there hammering short yardage and goal line situations. He moved the pile just enough to get a first down.
And now late running on the field is Will Johnson. Play clock's down to 6. West Virginia probably have to call a timeout. They get Johnson set, and Geno Smith turns around and spends a timeout. Personnel confusion on the Mountaineers sideline. 11:53 to go in the 4th quarter. With 2 personal foul penalties against Syracuse, West Virginia on a march down 5. Back at West Virginia, and Brian Gracie, Syracuse's resurgence under Doug Marrone and defensive coordinator Scott Schaefer, a big story in the Big East, and the numbers certainly tell the tale.
Yeah, when you look at total defense and scoring defense, those are the 2 ones that really are telling when you look at defense. 101st 2 years ago, and in the top 30 now in both those categories. A big transformation for Syracuse on defense.
Now a false start called against West Virginia.
Offense. Number 77, 5-yard penalty, first down.
There's Scott Schaefer, the defensive coordinator for the Cuse, who briefly was with Rich Rodriguez in Michigan before Doug Marrone brought him to Syracuse.
Yeah, and he was at Stanford before that. Jim Harbaugh gave him a chance, and then he went to Michigan. Now this is only his 2nd year at Syracuse, and for him to have this much transformation on a team that quickly is impressive.
Flags down on the track to Tavon Austin. And a great job to the field side of the Syracuse defense staying home to force Austin out of bounds. Damone Merkerson stayed home and was able to push him out.
Illegal shift. Offense. Number 9. 2 players moving at the snap. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Surprised Doug Marrone's going to take the penalty. It was only a gain of about 1.5 yards. Instead, he'll make it first down and 20. But
I think, yeah, you look at that from West Virginia's standpoint. You have a timeout, then you come back and you have 2 plays. Both of them you have dead ball penalty. penalties, and that is not the way you want to start your drive.
Smith under pressure, and he'll go down again. Mikhail Marinovich may have gotten a piece of the face mask again. This time no flag comes out. Let's check in with Wendy.
Bob, thank you. Notre Dame at Navy. Navy trying to beat the Irish for the third time in 4 years. Alexander Teach here, 25 yards. Navy all over the Irish. Ricky Dobbs would punch it in. Navy's largest win over Notre Dame, 26 points back in 1956. They are on track. It is 35-10.
Well, Wendy, talk about being on track. Doug Hogue, he's going to be the Big East Defensive Player of the Week as he stops Noel Devine on a screen for a loss of a few more. And it is 3rd down and nearly 30 to go for West Virginia.
Doug Hogue can run. He's got straight line speed. He's 6'2". He put on some weight in the offseason, probably 240 pounds, but he is a big-time player.
3rd and 29. Smith running for his life again. Marinovich tracks him along the sideline. And he unloads one down the sideline, and the flag comes out. They are going to say that Geno Smith, I think, got hit out of bounds late by Anthony Perkins. This will be the 3rd personal foul on this drive, potentially, against Syracuse. And Doug Marrone can't believe it.
Doug Marrone is beside himself. The bottom line is, if there's any question, if it's anywhere close defensively, don't hit him. Just don't give the official any opportunity to throw that flag.
There is no foul for a late hit. They're still in bounds. There is no foul for an illegal forward pass. The quarterback did not cross the line. 4th down.
So they're going to say that the hit occurred in bounds. The flag came out, but they picked it up.
Certainly, it's close right there. I don't know that he was in bounds. I don't think that the official wanted to call 3 personal fouls in a row on the Syracuse team. Certainly, the penalties have gone the way of West Virginia in this drive, but the 3rd time was not a charm.
So Syracuse gets a break. They pick up the flag, and Pugnetti gets off a pretty good punt. Holmes from the 23, and he goes down at the 29-yard line. 48-yard punt, 6-yard return, and this afternoon, catch a crucial game in the Big Ten. Wisconsin takes on Iowa. Other regional coverage featuring Nebraska, Oklahoma State, and Georgia Tech and Clemson. College football presented by Kay Jewelers on ABC or ESPN today at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific. You can go to ESPN.com and search maps to find out where you can see the game you're looking for. Antoine Bailey stays in bounds and does a good job to keep the clock rolling, although they say he stepped out at about the 32-yard line. So he only picked up a couple of yards, and that stops the clock with 10:05 to go.
It's a big drive for the Orangemen. If they can get something going here, if they can complete some balls, continue to run the clock, get some first downs, they can get down and just kick a field goal and go up by 8. Would be a great drive, but they have not been able to get anything going in the second half against this West Virginia defense.
Reset the game clock to 9:55. 9:55 on the game clock.
So they're going to take 10 seconds off the game clock. Clearly the official on the near side of the field, after about a 4-yard gain by Bailey, waved 2 hands over his head to say that he was out of bounds and the clock should stop. And now they're going to roll the clock at 9:45. Bailey again. About 2 yards shy of a first down.
They continue to run the ball on 1st and 2nd down to bring up 3rd and 5s, and while it does take some time off the clock. That's about 3rd and 3 here. It does take time off the clock. At some point, play action pass over the top whenever they want it. The first touchdown in the game, they had to Van Chu over the top. Whenever they want to throw that post route off of play action now, it's there for the taking.
On 3rd down. That's a first down run for Antoine Bailey. Syracuse moves the chains, and they continue to roll the clock as we check in with Wendy.
Bob, thank you. Michigan and Northwestern on ESPN. Kirk Cousins to Mark Dell, a 15-yard touchdown. Dell's 3rd touchdown reception this season, tying a career high. A Paul Sparty with it.
ESPN's College Football is presented by 5-Hour Energy. Hours of energy now, no 2:30 feeling later. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com. And in part by Chevrolet. Every model is backed by a 100,000-mile, 5-year powertrain limited warranty.
What's better than college football on a Saturday afternoon? Here in Morgantown, big play coming up for Syracuse. 3rd down and 8 with 6:46 to go.
Checking at the line of scrimmage. Here's Bailey at the top of your screen.
Massive slants one, almost intercepted. Van Chu, the intended receiver. And Broderick Jenkins jumped that route. Well, he knew it was coming.
And Nassib checked at the line of scrimmage, but I think West Virginia defensively checked with him, played a 2-deep coverage on the back end, and just jumped inside of the slant route, almost, as you said, anticipating that throw. And Nassib is lucky that ball was not intercepted. West Virginia very good this season on 3rd downs, only giving up 23% conversions. That ranks 2nd in the country.
Long tries to angle one to the corner. Hogan lets it go, and it bounces in the end zone. Can Syracuse's defense hold on? There's a flag down back at the line of scrimmage.
During the kick, holding, offense, number 20, 10 yards from the ending kick, first down.
So West Virginia will have it at their own 30, but they still have to find a way to protect Geno Smith.
Well, all day long he's been under fire, and nothing is going to change in this drive. Certainly Syracuse defensively continuing to bring pressure on Geno Smith, confusing him, forcing him into bad throws, inaccurate throws, and all the accumulation of all these hits takes its toll. But this is where you find out about young quarterbacks. Geno Smith earlier in the year down 2 touchdowns on the road at Marshall, brought his team back to victory 24-21. He's got another situation here. He needs to bring his team back.
And Syracuse looking for their 2nd big road win in the conference and trying to win the same kind of way they won against South Florida.
Yeah, turnovers and defense. They gave up 219 yards. That's it. No touchdowns to South Florida 2 weeks ago. They wanted to get this game into the 4th quarter. And Doug Marrone, this is exactly the recipe that he wanted. A physical game, run the football, play good defense. That's what he's brought to Syracuse, and it's been very impressive to see the transformation this fast.
Middle pressure comes here. Smith dodges a rusher. Long throw to Tavon Austin. And he steps out of bounds with a first down to the 41-yard line.
Get the feeling that the West Virginia offensive line is starting to get a little bit of a bead on some of these blitzes. And if Syracuse is going to continue to bring pressure, they've got to get home, because on the back end they're exposed. See all these guys lined up here. You don't know which ones are going to come.
They bring 5. Smith with a slant caught underneath. Jock Sanders makes his second catch of the day. Out to the 45-yard line. Gain of 4. Marinovich hit Geno Smith again.
One of the ways to beat the blitz is to get rid of the football. And knowing that if you're going to bring blitz, it's going to be soft on the outside. There's going to be opportunities for quick throws and completions. And right now, I think Jeff Millen, the offensive coordinator, is calling these plays from the sideline, trying to get his quarterback in good situations with quick throws.
Devine gets outside, brought down right at the first down marker by Mike Holmes. And he is about a half-yard shot. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Those are the kinds of plays that Noel Devine is so scary on. He breaks one tackle and he goes the distance, but Mike Holmes making his 39th career start today. Very experienced player and very good player with a sure tackle.
Handoff to Ryan Clark, and he's got the first down. Although with the clock rolling, 4:45 to go, Grease, this has the feel, considering the fact that West Virginia is not really playing up-tempo, this might be their last best chance. It doesn't look like they're playing for multiple possessions inside of the last 5 minutes.
No, and they burned a timeout earlier because of a substitution package. They've only got 2 timeouts left, so if they're going to do it in this game, I think this may be the drive.
Pressure from the blind side. Geno Smith somehow avoids the sack and is able to dump it off to the perimeter. He got it to Noel Devine. Boy, how did he fool the rusher Jeremy Wilkes, who was coming from the blind side.
Wow, Jeremy Wilkes, comes off the corner. You'll see him at the top of your screen. This comes off the top, and he had a free shot right and just whiffed.
Terrific pocket presence from Smith to just step forward and avoid the rush. Devine brought down after a gain of 2. Are you surprised that West Virginia isn't more up-tempo, considering the fact down 5, 2 field goals could still get the job done if you play for more than 1 possession?
At this point, I think they've taken the game out of Geno Smith's hands, and so the tempo really is as fast as the play can come in from the sideline. See, they're using a dummy snap count, allowing them to see the defense on the sideline, and then Geno comes up to the line of scrimmage and gets him in the right play. And if you're going to operate like that, you can't be up-tempo.
Devine up the middle. It'll be 4th down. Bob Wischusen and Brian Greasy at Mountaineer Field here in Morgantown. 3 minutes to go. Syracuse, a 2-touchdown underdog on the road, trying to beat number 20 in the BCS rankings, West Virginia, and it has been a field possession defensive battle since the end of the first quarter.
A little bit of indecision here from the sideline. 4th and 3. Looks like West Virginia doesn't quite know what they want to do here.
Play clock down to 10. Syracuse rushes 5. Smith under pressure again. Escapes the rush. Tucks it under and runs. Lowers his shoulder. And on 4th down, Geno Smith keeps the drive alive.
Have not seen him run yet today. And this is the X factor with Geno Smith. He's not the fastest guy, maybe 4.7, but certainly when he gets outside the pocket, he's got enough to do some damage on the second level and a huge 4th down conversion.
Blitz comes off the edge. Smith goes the other way. Will Johnson, the tight end, steps out of bounds, but it's incomplete.
You know, if you're West Virginia on offense now, you got to start picking up the tempo a little bit because we're under 2 minutes in this football game, and they still got 31 yards to go to win the game. So there's a little bit of a false sense of security right now with Geno Smith that he's got more time than he actually has.
flags down. This could be a holding penalty. Tavon Austin made the reception, but Don Barkley, the left tackle,
10-yard penalty. Second down.
gets called for the hold.
That's a huge penalty. Certainly not only the yardage, but now you have more distance to go with less time on the clock, and that's why I think they need to hurry this thing up a little bit. In case you have a sack, you still would have time to get to the line of scrimmage.
They screen one to Austin. Blockers out in front. Austin gets out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Mike Holmes there to bump him out. Gain of only 4. It'll be 3rd down and long.
Well, and they're clearly in 2-down territory here. They're going to make something. You just want to get about 10 yards on this play. You don't have to force something down the field and risk an interception. Just throw the ball underneath if that's what the defense gives you. Get 8 or 9 yards and put yourself in a situation where you can convert on 4th down.
Three-man rush on 3rd and 16. Smith bullets one over the middle, and he's got a man. It's J.D. Woods. And that might be good for a 1st down to the 20-yard line. It is. Just ahead of the chains. 17-yard gain. Stops the clock for the moment. 1:29 to go.
And Syracuse comes with only a 3-man rush. I don't know. I still think they should pressure here and continue to do what's worked for them, but giving Geno Smith an opportunity to sit in the pocket and read the defense, and he converts on a big 3rd down throw.
2 timeouts left for the Mountaineers. This time they'll give one to Devine, and he steps out of bounds. No gain, and a flag comes out, thrown from the secondary.
It's usually in the area of a penalty on the wide receiver blocking.
There is no foul for an illegal block in the back.
Another time, a flag that could have greatly influenced field position gets picked up.
Yeah.
Syracuse caught a break earlier when they bumped Smith out of bounds, and now West Virginia catches a break.
They did, and certainly that could have been called a block in the back. I don't know what forces you to pick a penalty flag up, but
Smith with a punt fake. Under pressure, sacked, back at the 33. Shamarko Thomas and Doug Hogue combined to bring him down. And now West Virginia has to spend a timeout. We're under a minute to go. And they will. This game is on the Syracuse defense. Can they pull off the upset? Final minute when we return. In the last minute plus to force overtime against Cincinnati. But then the Bearcats in overtime held the Mountaineers to a field goal. Tony Pike flips for a touchdown. And Cincinnati under the lights with a 26-23 win the last time that West Virginia lost on this field. And they haven't lost to Syracuse head-to-head since 2001. 8 straight losses for the Orange against the Mountaineers. But 3rd down and 22 now for West Virginia. 54 seconds to go. This time a 5-man rush. Smith under pressure, hit as he throws to the sideline. It falls incomplete.
the last 3rd down and 16, they rush 3, drop 8, and they got a conversion. This time, Schaefer, the defensive coordinator, decides to bring 5, get pressure, and go with what's been working all day, and it comes out good for them.
And West Virginia and Bill Stewart will spend their final time out in a dead ball situation to talk about how they're going to set up 4th down and 22. Well, if you get the 1st down, you'd be inside the 10-yard line and the clock would stop. So you do have an opportunity by calling a timeout here, I guess, Brian, to set up what is a must play, and then you can either run down and spike it to stop the clock and take 3 shots at the end zone, or you can run down and run a play because the clock will stop if you pick up the 1st down. So on a dead ball timeout here, they spend their final time.
Yeah, I think this is a good usage. If you don't get this play, the game's over, obviously. So to come up with something, maybe, you know, we've seen some hook and laterals between Jock Sanders and Noel Devine, Tavon Austin. Get the ball in the hand of a guy that can make people miss, give him an opportunity to break a tackle and get a first down, although Divine's not in the ballgame.
Here we go. You can see 4 players for Syracuse. 10 or more yards off the line of scrimmage on 4th and 22. And they still try to bring pressure. Smith rolls under pressure, and he gets hit and dropped. Syracuse will survive. What a win for Doug Marrone's team.
And the credit has got to go to that defense and Scott Schaefer, the coordinator, on 4th down to continue to bring pressure, bring a blitz. They brought 6 guys on that last 4th down and got to, and I just don't understand right here when you're Geno Smith, you've got to throw the football. I mean, no matter where the football goes, you got to throw it, give your guys a chance. But a great win on the road for Doug Marrone.
Doug Marrone brings such a level of pride as being a Syracuse guy to this program. When he took over the job, he turned off the music at the start of practice. He told all players no facial hair. It's a jacket and tie on game day. We are going to act like a big-time program. We're going to act like a winning program. Well, now in year 2, they look like a winning program. This is their 2nd huge win on the road in the Big East. They beat South Florida on the road, and now they pull off the upset and break an 8-game losing streak to West Virginia, beating number 20 on their home field, 19-14.
And they were outmatched, outclassed. They didn't have as much talent as West Virginia, but they had more heart. And give credit to Antoine Bailey stepping in for Carter when he went down. Had a heck of a game.
What a game for Syracuse's defense. 19-14 is your final. The Orange win it in Morgantown. NASCAR Countdown coming up next. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Brian Griese and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Bob Wischusen saying so long from Morgantown. The Cuse with a huge win on the road. NASCAR Countdown coming up.
Today, NASCAR roars through the gateway to the West in the last race under the arch. With 5 wins this season, points leader Brad Keselowski has a commanding 450 points.